Okay guys, we have a updated review of the Scentfire unit. Just some problems that I have ran into. They've made some rolling changes to these designs, and I figured you guys would like to know that. If you haven't already seen my first review on this, this is basically part 2 for it. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest you pause this one and go take a look at that, and then come back to this video. One of the first things that the rolling change that they have made, this is the old cartridge that they first came out with. If you can see up at the top of this cartridge, there's no lines or anything on it. The new ones have a little black line that goes all the way across the top. Hopefully that is showing up on camera for you. If not, I apologize. And with the old ones, now a reminder, they say 50 hours for one cartridge on a 3-minute mode. And what they did with the ones that have the lines on it, because there wasn't that much vapor coming out of these when you'd use them, they opened the ports or the holes on the bottom, made them a little bit bigger, so in return more of the liquid would flow down onto the coil and it would result in more vapor. I really did not notice a difference. I mean, I don't know if the camera even picked that up, but that's about the same as any other time I've used it. And one complaint that I have with these, let me see if I can find it. You can see the color of the liquid there. Okay, that's a VS1. This is also a VS1, but you see the clear differences in the color of the liquid. Now, I had reached out to Conquest Scents. They make all of these, everything about them, and I asked them. I had some of the tanks would get about halfway or 3/4 used up, and then there wouldn't be any more vapor. And I like to be able to use all the vapor in there as I can. And I had asked them if they had any problems with their cartridges or anything like that before, and they said no. So I didn't think too much of it, but now with a different color, if you vape, you can tell what that means. It means that it's burning that liquid, it's changing a different color. When you get them, I recommend doing this with any of them. You turn the unit on every so often when you run it. I would just smell the vapor. You can smell it, what it smells like when it first comes. Then once you get towards the bottom of that container, I would smell it again to check it. Because it does change it. That color that changes, it does change it. The smell, it smells like burnt. And the deer are gonna notice that. Another thing is when they get down real low, I have tried to do it where one of these, let me see, one of these cartridges does not work anymore. I don't know why. It won't put out any more vapor. It'll still try to, but nothing comes out. And it's this one right here. The one that has the most amount in it is messed up. Now this is the Evercalm stick, and you can see that there's still quite a bit of liquid left in there. Well, I tried to do it on one of these, the VS1s, the ones with the line at the top. You can take a torch, take the top off like any other time, electronic cigarette, vape pen, whatever you do, and usually you can just dump it right out, get it warm, and it'll just flow right out. Not these. This is the one I did it to. There's barely any. When you would heat that up, all it would do is make that liquid bubble, You can take the cap off, flip it upside down, and even shake it. It's not gonna come out. I don't know what they have in there that makes it do that, but it does not come out. And the other thing about these tanks is, there's no way to get the liquid out. I mean, if you have a syringe, you might be able to. I do not. I mean, that's just a lot of work. I mean, for the VS1s, you pay $50 basically for 2 of them. And if you don't get all the liquid out or you don't use it all up, it's just wasting. This one's, I want to say, 1/3 of the way left, and I can't use it, can't get it out. I'll put one of these other ones back in and try this one. You can barely see it on camera. You can see it a little bit. Now, when you set this out there, 20, 30 yards, I had ran mine, I want to say right around 20, 25 yards away from the stand that I'm in. And you know, you can barely see it up close. Get out 20, 30 yards, and I'm looking through my scope and my crossbow every so often to make sure that this thing is even still producing smoke. Now, one of the things that Conquest Scents came out with is they redid that to try and give it a little more airflow, more vapor to come out. I haven't noticed too much of that. And when these things, when it gets down cold, you can basically just leave these at home because they're not going to function properly. Conquest Scent has came out with 2 videos, some new updates, like things you can do with this. For the amount of money you spend, one of their suggestions was when it gets down cold, because it doesn't like to work properly when it's real cold, is he had a video where he strapped 4 hand warmers to it and with electrical tape taped them on there. So you can keep this device warm and you can use it while you're hunting. But if you're doing that every time you go out, that's going to start to add up. I mean, the unit alone is $70 with one thing. Let's say you put in $200 to $300, you're buying up, if you buy 2 of the estrus, that's $100 there. Let's say you buy 2 of the Evercalm, that's $60 to $65 there. So it adds up, and the thing eats the batteries like no other. You have to use lithium ion batteries. You cannot use regular. If you use regular, I mean, honestly, I did it for like 1 day, and I think it worked for like 20 minutes, and then that was it. It'll still try and function, but it just doesn't have the juice and the power of the lithium to actually produce the smoke. Now this is one of the old tanks. And now you see, this is inside about 60 degrees, and you can just barely see that. So I had contacted them about that, seeing if they had any problems with their tanks. No, they never had nothing. They said they never had anybody say anything about it. I guess I was the first person. It will change it, the color of them. This one's empty, so we can throw it away. But you can just see the color difference. I mean, so when this one goes to be used, it gives off a burnt smell because it's burnt the liquid. And that has happened on quite a few of mine. So, I mean, you're paying $50 for these 2. This one messed up and had about 1/4 of it left in there. Tried to burn it out to put into a different one. Didn't work. So you just throw out that. This one, it's burnt smelling, so you can just basically throw out that. So I'm just going to say I just threw out about a half a tank with these 2 cartridges. And you just paid $50 for that. Now, I do like Evercalm products. They are very good. I think after this year, I do not know if I will be using these anymore, because I'm in the Midwest states. Ohio doesn't get real crazy cold. once in a while. But like Wisconsin and other stuff, these can be used early season and like a little bit of the rut. But once it gets past that in December and on, these aren't going to work very well because you're not even going to be able to see the vapor, and it's not going to produce much vapor. And then another one of his tips that he had in the video is when it is raining, you are not supposed to use these units. They're not waterproof. Apparently if you use it right where you screw this in, the water will go into the unit and not be good for it. What they suggested was you go to your local hardware store and get a rubber washer, and you can put it right over top of this, and apparently that's supposed to make it better, where you can use it in the rain. These are fairly new to the scene of hunting. Just be careful, really think about it. Don't just take this video as credit. If you get on Conquest Scent and look at their video, they're gonna have great action and everything else. They got deer farms they go to, and you have bucks coming right to it. I have never had a deer come right over top of this and smell the unit, and I've used them for 2+ years. They do work early season for me, but once they get past that, you can't see very much vapor. So if you guys are thinking about buying it, just think about all the money you have to sink into it before you actually can get going. And then if you have problems with, you know, the cartridges changing color, smelling burnt, the deer are going to notice that if it smells burnt. Stuff like that. The amount of batteries you have to go through for that. It's just, that's a lot of money that you're going to be putting into just this unit. $70, let's say you put 100 into these, and then the batteries are 15 to 16 a piece for 8 of them. And they last for 30 to 40 hours, somewhere around that, on the 3-minute mark. And then if you run 2 units, that's even a lot more. So like I said, I don't know if I'll be going back to these for next unit. I know I'll still have Evercalm products with a wax stick, because I can use the wax stick a lot more than this thing, and it will hold the scent. So there's just some things to look out for that I did not mention on the other video. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully this will help some people, because for the budget-friendly hunter, you're probably not going to want to buy this, because you're already sinking $70-some just into this alone. Plus all the units and the batteries that you go through, and if you hunt, you want to put the hand warmers with tape on it. I mean, it adds up. I would suggest just buying the wax stick. You can put it on, use it many times. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around. We'll have some more videos coming out for you. I'll catch you on the next one.